Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. All praise, glory, and honor goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rikah Kadash. Yahweh in the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shah in the name of His only begotten Son, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Now, when you go into the scriptures, it exposes these antichrists and these deceivers who wanted to cover over the faces of the judges. Now, when you go into these movies, these magazines, pictures, and these statues and monuments that they painted and made into the angels and God, they was all putting themselves up, and they wasn't going according to the scriptures, because the scriptures expose who is who and what is what. It exposes the truth. Now, let's start off with John 17 and 17. It says, sanctify them through the truth. Thy word is true. See, the word is the truth. It says, and thou hast sent me into the world, even so have I also sent them into the world. And for their sakes I sanctify myself, that they also might be sanctified through the truth. See, the scriptures and the word is the truth, not some opinion of the slave master, not some opinion of these church leaders and popes and people like that. They don't dictate what the truth is. See, you don't cancel out the Bible and say, oh, it's whatever the church say and whatever the preachers say. The head preacher is whatever he say. That's when who got the truth. See, you're a truth lie, because that's what they base everything off of. Talking about these people got the truth, and they don't got no truth, man. Now when you're going to Leviticus, this is one of the main sources of the truth, because the priests, they was working with the Lord, they was working with the Almighty God, the Almighty power. See, you couldn't even go in that temple and make the wrong move or you'll drop dead. See, it wasn't no play game when it came to that temple. And look at, when it comes to skin, he gave them a specific operation and told them anytime anything happened, when it comes to the skin, this is what you call it. He says, it is an old leprosy in the skin of the flesh of his flesh, and the priest shall announce him unclean and shall not shut him up, for he is unclean. See, leprosy was an unclean operation. All right, now verse 13, it says, then the priest shall consider, and behold, if the leprosy have covered all his flesh, he shall pronounce him clean. That have the plague, it is all turned white, he is clean. So this is where they get the so-called white people, because when it comes to dark skin, it's considered white to have leprosy. When somebody is so-called white, that's when they got leprosy. And we're going to back that up with Exodus chapter 4, when it came to the first miracle. Let's see here, the first miracle that Moses did. First of all, he was dealing with some serpents. That's another big one. See, the serpent in Revelation chapter 12, the great red dragon. See that old serpent? See, the Edomites was all King David called them a serpent in Psalms 58. See, they like a blind adder because they don't see nothing but wickedness. Now look at verse 6 to get to the point. It says, and the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now your hand in your bosom. And he put his hand in his bosom, and then he took it out. Behold, his hand was leprous as snow. See, and we know snow is white, and it's just uh, what you call a metaphor and a way to describe how light his hand was. You see, but he wasn't it wasn't the color white, but it was like snow. It was a lighter than the dark because Abraham and Isaac and Jacob was dark. So, what you call it? Um, Moses, he was like his forefather. But now, when you go into Isaac and this red situation, Genesis 25:25. So Isaac, being a dark man, which Abraham, his father was a dark man. You go into verse 25, it says, and the furs came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Now what did Leviticus say? Leviticus 13:13, it says, if the leprosy have covered all his flesh. See, this is what Esau came out with. See, he came out with leprosy, albinism. And this is what the white people call them so-called white peoples. Because compared to the dark melanin and dark pigment, they got leprosy and they can be described as white or they could be described as pale. That's why they call them pale face, or like in Revelation 6, they call them the pale horse. See, they the pale people, the pale nation. And that nation can go for power, kingdom. See, like it says in Ephesians 6:12, it says the principalities, meaning governments, and the powers, see, talking about a government or a nation, the rulers, see, they're ruling as a nation. They're the ruling nation on the earth. These so-called white peoples who are Edomites. Okay, so Esau came out red all over like a hairy garment. Leprosy was when they have no pigment all over from head to toe. And I think it's another one that through some, he said it again in 17. He said, and the priest shall see him, and behold, if the plague be turned into white, then the priest shall pronounce him clean that have the plague, he is clean. So the priest was given specifics on if this skin, this baby come out with skin like this or skin like that, or any person, because you see people nowadays, they was dark, but now they got spots of leprosy. You see, they don't be dark. I mean, they don't be having leprosy, and they have spots of dark skin on them. See, it don't go the other way. It go from pigment to leprosy, meaning it's a plague. It's a growing plague on them. Got a bunch of light spots on their bodies. And this is why we saying the Lord did not have no leprosy, man. The Lord is not having no leprosy or no plague. This is why we know he wasn't a Edomite, because he was without blemish. He didn't have no plague. He didn't come from the cursed seed Esau. So when you go into what is it? Isaiah 34:5, it says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven, behold, it shall come down upon Idumea upon the people of my curse to judgment. See, this is not the Lord's bloodline. See, his bloodline was not of Esau. His bloodline was of Jacob. Let's see, we got some more on this end. Now, when you go into King Solomon, let's get some major ones. King Solomon wrote in the Song of Solomon. Look, verse 1 and 1, it say the Song of Songs, which is Solomon's. Solomon wrote this. Verse 5, it say, I am black but comely, meaning I am black and beautiful. Look at verse 6, it says, look not upon me because I am black. You might want to freeze my operation. Look not upon me because I am black. See, you freezing? Okay. Look not upon me because I am black, because the sun have looked upon me. See, the sun turned people darker. You got leprosy, the sun can't do nothing for you but burn your behind and give you a cancer. See, so these people want to say that the Lord had leprosy, but we know that's to be a bold-faced lie. I'm trying to get to chapter 9 of Job. It said what happened with the situation. It said the earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? If it wasn't the so-called white man, if it wasn't the Pope Alexander, the sixth, I think, who had a son called Caesar Borgia. See, and his son died before him, and he set the son up to be the Lord, because the scriptures was a famous story. It was a famous history. It was given history that no other people had in their history books. It was given history that was certified, that can be traced back, that can be verified. It was given history that can be backed up with other history. See, it was given an accurate history, an accurate truth of the past. And this is why the book is the best-selling book, because everybody know that this history is certified history. They can't find no flaws in the history. Now let's get that real quick. This verse go along with it. This is Psalms. Is it 9 or Psalms? Psalms 19, Salaki. Psalm 19 and 7. It says, the law of the Lord is perfect. See, they can't find no flaws in it. They can't say, oh, here go a lie right here. That didn't happen. That's a false history. See? And if something was an error, it was because the translators did it. One, because the storyline is a lie. Just maybe one word, one name, one little small thing might be error due to translation. They say the law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. See, if you don't know history, the scripture's going to give it to you. And everybody who telling lies, they're going to be exposed. Now, 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, tells you about the man of sin, the Antichrist. See, the son of destruction. These Edomites told what they was going to do. They said, who opposed and exalted himself above all that is called God or that is worship, so that he as God sit in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. That's too simple. He's showing himself that he God, and if you say anybody else God, it's an abomination, and he is mad about it and a shock that you even can say something like that. Fair use This is for education purposes only. Fair use.
I don't see God's book around, Walter.
I'm sorry.
Sorry is for those seeking forgiveness. Are you seeking forgiveness, Walter?
Forgiveness for what, Reverend?
Vivian said you told her that God is black.
I simply posed.
Salakia.
I've been the Longhurst family doctor for 40 years. I delivered Vivian.
Fair use.
He's not black. He's what interior decorators call hickory bronze. Same color as your new car.
I would just assume you did not compare that boy to my new car.
Let's get it to the right spot.
Your father-in-law wants the family to spend the night at his house. I don't see God's book around, Walter.
I'm sorry.
Sorry is for those seeking forgiveness. Are you seeking forgiveness, Walter?
Forgiveness for what, Reverend?
Vivian said you told her that God is black.
I simply posed it as a possibility.
We don't speculate on God's color, Walter. If you ever want Vivian to speak to you again, go upstairs and tell her that God is white.
But we're really not sure. I mean, the Hindus don't believe it, the Muslims, the Buddhists.
God is white. It's simple logic. His son is white.
That's not proof. I'm white, my son is black.
I'll pray for you, Walter.
Now we got this Ezekiel 23, which exposes how the Israelites here in verse 3, in verse 2 it says, "Son of man, there were two women, the daughter of one mother." So this one family, but they got two different daughters. They got two different nations. They got two different kingdoms, because it was a northern kingdom and a southern kingdom of Israel. And it gave them names in verse 4. And the second one say Samaria. So Samaria was one of them. And we know Samaria was the northern kingdom. Ephraim, who got carried away to the king of Assyria, the Assyrians. And they some of the main ones that fall for this Edomite leprosy god. Verse 12, it says, "She doted upon the Assyrians, her neighbors, captains and rulers, clothed most gloriously, horsemen riding upon horses, all of them desirable young men. Then I saw that she was defiled, that they took both one way." Okay, so both of them was defiled. How were they defiled? 14, "And that she increased her whoredom, for when they saw men portrayed upon the wall, the images of the Chaldeans portrayed with vermilion." So these men that was portrayed upon the wall, these images of the Chaldeans. Now when you go into Jeremiah 50 and 51, it calls these Edomites Chaldeans. See, so just because it's saying Chaldean, that don't mean it's talking about no Chaldean. Same thing with Babylon in Revelation 18. Just because it say Babylon, that don't mean it's talking about the Babylonians. It's talking about these Edomites, the so-called white men who got leprosy and albinism. It said that their men would be portrayed upon the wall, and the images would be portrayed, and what would happen? It says, verse 16, to get to the point, it says, "And as soon as she saw them with her eyes, she doted upon them and sent messages unto them in Chaldea. And the Babylonians came to her in the bed of love." See, they say, "Oh, we love y'all. You just the God of love." And they defiled her with their whoredom, and she was polluted with them, and her mind was alienated from them. She discovered her whoredoms and discovered her nakedness. Then my mind was alienated from her. like as my mind was alienated from her sister. So the Lord's mind was alienated for them because they was worshiping the images of their enemy, the images of the so-called Chaldeans and the Babylonians, they slave masters, the ones who had them in captivity, which now is the Edomites that got them in captivity. And let's get that real quick. Say Chaldean and the so-called Babylonian. Look at Psalms 137 and 7. It says, "Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof, O daughter of Babylon." See, the Edomites is the representation of the Babylon, Salakia. Edomites is being called Babylonians. You see, now when you go into who else? Let's see here. What? It's another one. Oh, well, not Malachi, it's Micah, chapter 2. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evils upon their bed. When the morning is light, they practice it." So when that morning too can go for when they came into the Renaissance, when there was a rebirth. See, when that in their beginnings, they was on working evil upon their bed, putting up Edomite gods and Edomite was the son of God, angels, and every other spirit. They was portraying it as an Edomite because it is in the power of their hand. That's what Job 9:24. Power was given unto them to the hand in the hand of the wicked. And they covet fields, and they take them by violence, houses, and take them away, and they oppress a man in his house, even a man and his heritage. See, they took the heritage of the Israelites and said it was them. So now all the gods and everybody is Edomites, and the Israelites don't even exist. They don't know who they are because they done took the identity and said that they the Israelites. And so this is what these people do. They done stole people's identity and put themselves up to be God. When God do not got leprosy, the angels don't got leprosy. None of them was created with a plague. None of them was created with a defect. None of them was created with recessive genes. None of them was created with eyes that was recessive, with skin that was recessive, that can't take the sun, that'll burn if they stand in the sun too long, that don't got the right amount of melanin that is used to create every creation on earth. See, everything is wrapped up in melanin but these Edomites when they come out of the womb, because it's a plague. And God do not have leprosy and never had it. So I'm going to leave it there. All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakadash. Double honor to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.